Beautiful Minds presents 10 signs you are in an emotionally abusive relationship. Oftentimes, people in emotionally abusive relationships don't understand that they are being abused because there is no violence involved. Many would dismiss or downplay emotional abuse because they don't think it's as bad as physical abuse, but this is a mistake. Emotional abuse has major consequences and is often hard to recognize. But here are 10 signs you are in an emotionally abusive relationship. Number 1, control. Your partner may seem overly invested in your social life or police your day-to-day routines without acknowledging your desires. You don't have the freedom to make your own choices, either overtly or subtly. Even small comments that undermine your independence are a means of control. Number 2, no space allowed. At first, it's sweet how protective they are of you and how they get a little jealous of the idea of you with anyone else. But then the protectiveness and subtle jealousies turn into possessiveness. They start to get paranoid and they begin to require that you are always accessible. Whenever they text or call you, they expect you to answer right away. They are always questioning your whereabouts, who you were with, and what you did. In the process, you begin to slowly lose touch with friends and family, and the relationship becomes overwhelming and exhausting. Number 3, gaslighting. You're just being over emotional. God, you can't ever take a joke. I never said that. You always put words into my mouth. Sometimes statements like this may be true, but when they are made to constantly criticize and control you, there may be a sign that you are in an abusive relationship. This type of behavior is used to make the absurd doubt their own sanity or question their own motives. It is aimed at taking the focus off the abuser's behavior and switching the focus onto a negative of the other party, which can cause extreme confusion and uncertainty. Number 4, a significant other is putting you down. My mother cooks better than you. My ex-boyfriend was better in bed. Everything you do turns into a disaster. In a healthy relationship, both partners will want to lift the other up and make them feel good. However, there are also going to be moments in most relationships where one person may call the other a name while angry and later regret this. That doesn't make a relationship abusive. Yet, when name calling, shame, criticism, and put-downs become a regular occurrence or are constantly disguised as a joke that the receiver is not allowed to be upset about, that indicates it may be a problem. Number 5, unpredictable affection. If you don't comply or agree with your partner, they withdraw their affection or become irritated and hostile. Their love is based on your willingness to conform to what they want, and a lack of submission will result in them either becoming cold and detached or aggressive and angry. They use affection as a tactic to exploit and control you. You find yourself feeling like you need to be overly careful when dealing with them to avoid offending, upsetting, or enraging them. In other words, it's like you have to walk on eggshells around them. Number 6, the guilt trip. To keep you in the relationship, they make threats to blackmail you, claim self-harm or suicide, or warn about injuring those you love. They use whatever manipulation tactics they can to prevent you from leaving them. You feel like you don't deserve better or will never find anyone who cares for you as much as they do. Your self-esteem is pretty low, and the idea of finding new love doesn't seem possible. Number 7, yelling. It's normal for partners to raise their voice occasionally, but it's not healthy when disagreements regularly escalate into shouting. It's especially concerning if you feel afraid. Not only does yelling make a productive conversation nearly impossible, but it also creates an imbalance of power. Only the loudest person is heard. Number 8, volatility. If a relationship is constantly interrupted by mood swings, it can signal abuse. Many people experience natural ups and downs, but it's a problem when it harms one partner. Volatile abusers often shower their victims with gifts and affection following an outburst, only to become angry again shortly after. Number 9, they make you feel worthless. They constantly let you know that you will not be able to cope without them. If they imply or tell you outright that you'd never manage without them, that you end up on the street, homeless without them to take care of you, your partner is a typical emotional abuser. Number 10, blames everything on you. If your significant other always blames everything on someone else, namely you, this may be a bad sign. If he or she throws a tantrum or attacks you verbally, he or she will say it was because of you. It is not a sign of a healthy relationship if your partner never takes responsibility and never admits to being at fault. Hope you learned a thing or two from this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and stay safe.